Welcome to the Bright Commerce Podcast.
All right, Bright Commerce, episode number 11. How are you today, Judd?
I'm doing well, Carlos. How are you?
I'm doing well. How's the heat treating you in South Florida?
Good. I'm actually wearing pretty warm socks right now because my AC's down to 69.
69, you're
'Cause-
bananas.
yeah,
Holy
I
moly.
don't
I keep
I
mine at
don't
78, 76 and 78. That's my sweet spot. And by the way,
no.
my AC was down for 2 weeks. I had
I saw yeah, I
I
s-
had a
that
one of the refrigeration lines was broken, so they had to find the leak.
it's
Um,
always a joy.
yeah, just got it back yesterday. So I'm like a new man. Like I am revived. I don't know how to explain it. I'm just so happy.
I would never have. So I have a spare wall unit,
You know,
spare AC wall unit that I use.
if I would have known that it was going to take this long, I would have bought one. And
Yeah.
let me tell you, it's great as a backup. It really is.
Yeah, my I put mine on Facebook to sell because it's one of those things, like you buy for a hurricane you don't use.
Yeah,
And it's still up there, and I haven't had a heart to tell my wife that I just don't want to sell it, so I just keep it up.
I gotcha. Eating up space.
Because
Yeah, so
there's gonna be that time where we're gonna need it.
yeah, no, it's true. Yeah. So by the way, and when you sell it or throw it out, you're gonna need it the week after. That's usually how that works.
Yeah.
ChatGPT or Grok did not really help me on this one, I must say.
All right. Well,
I think
so I mean, let's just kind of go through it. You
go-
have the update. You
no, no,
can
no.
bring it
I'm
up.
talking. I'm talking about my HVAC unit. I'm talking about my AC.
Oh
With
gosh, we talked about
ChatGPT.
that in the last.
Remember we did that like 3 episodes ago?
Yeah.
All right.
It did help you fix your AC, right?
Yeah, yeah, no, pretty much. All right, let me set the tone. Today we are talking a new version of WooCommerce that was just released July 14th. It's WooCommerce 10.0. And they got some pretty cool new features that we're gonna discuss and kind of get into it, right? Um,
Yep.
you want to just dive in, or you want me to
Let's
dive in?
dive in. Yep.
So one of the big features is WooCommerce 10, when used with a core WordPress or accessibility ready theme, will be fully conformant with WCAG 2.2 level AA and substantially conformant with level AAA. So this is big, right? This has been a thorn on web agencies for nearly a decade. ADA, right? Have you had any customers?
Oh yeah. I've had several customers get actually sued for ADA compliance. I've had people call me and that are being sued and need to get their site corrected. The issue is that it is such, I mean, there is so much to ADA compliance and so much that has to be done to code that it really is something that the courts should address because I really find that there's a lot of ambulance
Yeah,
chaser ADA people out there that
sadly, yes.
are pretty much just they're not doing it for the right reasons, you know? And I feel like it's also something that you could have a toned down website that would satisfy, I think, a lot of ADA compliance. Um, because you're not going to be able to satisfy certain users completely. And at what point do you get sued? Is it, someone like you don't like there's many levels of compliance. At what point
Yeah.
is if you're very compliant, but you might not be perfect,
So
would you still get someone
a
coming
lot of
after
the
you?
ambulance chasers, they'll look for weaknesses on a website, right? They'll see that you don't have a widget. They'll see that you have a lot of ADA errors or a lot of warnings. They'll see there's no ADA policy on the footer. And that's when they
Well,
sort of attack, right? When they see those
and
signs.
also the visual aspects and being able to adhere to people that are colorblind, being able to increase or decrease text, those readers. And I think this is where they addressed a lot of those particular
Sure.
readers.
Yeah, well, a lot of that is that, and also being able to navigate with a keyboard, not just a mouse. Some
Yeah.
people cannot use a mouse because of certain disabilities.
So I
Uh,
think this is a huge one. And but I would love to know at like what part of it, Like that's great that they added it, but how much of it did it add? And how much will it affect current sites that already have it added? This is one of those things you kind of wonder what the update's
But I
going to
think
do.
the way they're saying it is there's a few requirements. Obviously, number one, you got to have WooCommerce 10. Number two, you got to have a WordPress or accessibility ready theme. I'm sorry, a core WordPress. So that would be like, 2025, right? Or accessibility ready theme, right? If not, it's up to you
And
to,
what's the accessibility ready theme? What is that? Like, is that, what, let's say, I'll give you an example. Beaver Builder has their base theme. I'm
yeah.
sure this is going to be maybe one of their updates that they'll do, which they'll be, we're now accessibility
Yeah.
ready.
Yeah. I mean, all these ADA issues are now just like really come to the forefront, right? I mean, you look at phones, you look at personal computers, they now have ADA features built in, which they didn't before. It's almost like they're just kind of getting around to it now in like the last few years.
What which is amazing because they started doing lawsuits as early as that I recognized around 2017, just poor small businesses suing them for about 30 grand a pop for not being ADA compliant. Their WooCommerce site's not being ADA compliant. But you don't see one of those lawyers going after Apple. You know what I mean? Like they're
Yeah,
not
no,
there.
yeah,
There's
I'm
not
not
a
sure.
class
Yeah,
action
yeah,
lawsuit. You
right,
know what I
right.
mean?
Yeah,
That's where I'm going back to like
maybe there is. We just haven't heard of it. I mean, the big one was with Domino's.
I don't know
Domino's
what that.
got sued because their e-com website for ordering pizza wasn't ADA compatible. And I think it went all the way up to the Supreme Court, and Domino's still lost. So that was a big catalyst for all this, right?
Yeah,
Um,
actually, there are lawsuits against. Yeah, I guess there is. It just depends.
yeah.
There is against
How do
major
you
companies.
how do you go about addressing ADA issues for your customers?
So well, first the one quick way we did it was userway.org.
Yeah, the wave
That was
tool.
an easy,
Yeah,
fast way. It
yeah,
was kind of like for all you ambulance chasers, pop that on the website.
yeah.
We get left alone. But it's also not totally ADA compliant. So if you are a very large e-commerce, like let's say you're over $1 million a month, you're going to want to consider much more, a much more strict policy on having ADA compliance within the website because if you cover 80% of them, you probably might not have someone come after you. But just like even looking up Apple, yeah, they've had rulings against them. So it doesn't matter how big you are, you still have to make sure you're following that. And I think that's going to open the door in a lot of ways for web development in the future because you know, I think a lot of agencies that are very fluent in ADA compliance will start to get more jobs because I think that's something that is one of those things of, having that specialty in what you understand and know. And again, that's, when it comes to the code and developing, there's not a lot of themes out there. Like that's what I'm interested to see. So I'm hoping what's going to happen is that by doing this, WooCommerce doing this, and also WordPress, that it's going to make a lot of the popular themes that we all know and love and like to use start to actually do those updates so we don't have to. Because I don't know about you, but I've actually had to do manual ADA compliance updates to themes like Beaver Builder. And it's a grueling process and it takes a lot of time. And,
But
and
I know,
typically,
and it's not just a one-off; it's ongoing work too. You have to audit like every month or every
oh,
quarter, and you have to
yeah.
train people on how to publish content properly, right? As new content is being published.
And updating is a pain in the nuts because then after you do all that stuff, you have to make sure you do it in a way that when you go to update the theme, the plugins and all that, it's not going to break
And
what
then the
you've done
WCAG,
to be compliant.
yeah, the WCAG standards, I believe they change too. They do update, so you got to be on top of that as well. The way we approach it, and we started seeing these cases about 10 years ago, and I remember the first client that contacted us. They were a timeshare company, and they were being hit up with these lawsuits. When I got that phone call 10 years ago, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, are you sure this is legit? It was legit. Point being was we started to address all these issues organically. Um, Not just with the Wave tool, right? Because the Wave plugin that runs on Chrome is great, but it only lets you address one page at a time. There are other companies out there that have applications that use the API from Wave and will actually scan your website, every day, every week, and come back to you with a report. So it's basically the app doing the work for you manually, right? But again,
Yeah.
it's a grueling process. It got really expensive. They had about 10 websites. It got really, really expensive over time, not just for the software, but us doing all the work on top of that every
Yeah.
time something was flagged. We ended up just addressing everything with just the ADA widgets. And
So what do you think with WooCommerce? Like, what do you think this is going to solve, um, as far as being an easier process for both the store owner as well as an agency?
I'm not sure. I gotta dive in there and take a look. Like I don't really know um like what the new feature actually does in terms of giving you better ADA capability. I'd have to take a look because at the end of the day, even I don't know. Well, I guess this is just relevant to WooCommerce, not WordPress, right? So I'm thinking here maybe a lot of the checkout pages, product pages, they're going to be ADA or more ADA friendly out of the box, is what it sounds like.
Yeah, it says that the screen reader improvements, keyboard navigation enhancements, form accessibility fixes. So I'm not, I mean, I don't, I think this is just hitting the start of things because I think you're going to have voice, all sorts of other stuff that are going to be needed too. Um,
Yeah. And
it does say it helps with the legal risk mitigation, Title II versus Title III applications. I don't know what the hell that means, to be honest. And Section 508 compliance overlap. So, and as well as there's a lot of international accessibility law alignment. So maybe, probably in different countries, it might be more strict than the US when it comes to,
yeah, I don't I
compliance.
don't know how it's handled in other countries. But look, put in the legality issue aside for a second. There's more to ADA than just that. It is also a UX enhancement because
Yeah.
now you're appealing to a broader audience that you couldn't reach before because of these tools.
Yeah.
So that's also something to consider.
Well, absolutely. So, if you have people that can't see, but are using the site through hearing and
Yeah,
as well as the readers they have and stuff, and you're able to provide that, that is a conversion. Like that is someone that's not going to. I need to go to another site because this place doesn't allow me to shop the way I need to.
I had a well, we have a client that sells weapon accessories, and he called me up out of the blue. I have a really good relationship with him, so he just calls me directly. He calls me up out of the blue, and he's like, "Hey, I've been reading a lot of this ADA stuff. It's like, can you make my site ADA friendly?" Um, and I'm like, "Hey, we can do it. We can go through and at least get rid of all the errors. Maybe not all the warnings, but we can get rid of all the errors." I'm like, "We'll do that for you, and then we'll slap the widget on there too. Just to give an additional layer of protection, right?"
Yeah.
And it sort of like sparked up this joke between us, which was like, gosh, I can't believe I'm doing this. I would never sell any type of firearm to a blind person, which is kind of true when you think about it, right? That's not like your ideal audience.
That's very. See that right there. I'm sure you wouldn't get sued by a blind person be saying, but hear me out here. Let's say the blind person is blind. No, obviously he's blind. Duh. Sorry. And he's buying for his brother who's not, and his brother is a police officer, and that police officer needs a firearm accessory. He wants to buy it for his
It
birthday.
can happen, yeah.
Perfect
It
example. Like
can happen.
you don't have to. You don't have to be it doesn't have to be for that. It could be a gift.
Yeah.
Then again, it could just be a blind person that says, I want to buy a firearm. He's legally allowed in the United States. You don't want to. I don't know. Actually, I'm gonna just say this, right? If I was blind and I was at my house alone, I wouldn't mind having a firearm. You know, if someone breaks in, at least I don't know how that works, but I'm just saying like that still could be a possible thing. You know what I mean?
Maybe, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Can
I
you?
would have,
I
and
mean,
it wouldn't
first of
be
all,
a
wait,
it
wait,
wouldn't be a
wait.
revolver.
Don't you need a permit to have a gun?
No,
I'm not a gun guy, so I don't know. Don't you need a permit?
no,
License? No.
no,
That's
not
only for
live
that's
like
only for concealed
we live
weapons.
in New York.
Oh,
We're
okay.
in Florida. We can have any gun we want. But I tell you what,
You get to run in the
if I
back
was
of pickup
blind,
trucks.
here's what I say, and I bet you there's probably a guy in Florida right now that is blind. He's not going to have a handgun. He'll have a shotgun. That is the best. Because like in Florida, you know how we had a lot of the Florida homes while there was just one, or even southern homes. The house was literally you walk front door goes all the way to the
Yeah,
back door.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Well, then again, that's a shotgun hallway or whatever. That's the reason they did it. Because if
Are
someone
you
came in,
serious?
yeah, someone came in,
So
you just
you could like funnel people through this, like
pretty much that's how
automatic
it
them
was
through
a
it?
way to protect their home. I forgot the name of it. It was a shotgun home or something like that.
Oh, that's funny.
I might have to edit some of this stuff out, man.
All right, this is reality, man. It's reality. Well, but
Yeah, it's
bottom line
a
with
one
the
story, so it's a shotgun house, a narrow rectangular one-story home with rooms arranged in a row, typically without hallways. With back door all the way, front and back, just one open hallway.
good God,
That's how I did it.
America written all over it.
It was well suited for hot climates. And the reason they referred it to as a shotgun home because shotguns would fire from one end to the other, eliminating anything in its path. I don't know why we got to this, but
Yeah,
I'm
let's just
just
move
being
on.
an advocate.
Here's what I'll say on the ADA stuff. I mean, at the very least, I like to cover all the errors, and then I like to have the widget. We usually use Accessity. We
Yeah.
actually have a partnership with them.
So
They also generate your ADA policy as well, which you have to have.
and I looked at both of those. I think they're relatively the same for each, but when I looked up, are they foolproof? Either, even if you have the pro version, or foolproof for ADA compliance.
Correct. So it's not a perfect tool by any
It's
means.
not for yet, but
Think about it. It's auto. What you're doing is you're automating the ADA process. Automation's never perfect, right?
yeah,
But again, at least it can offer help to those who need it, and then it's also used as a deterrent to people that are actively come trying to come after you. You know.
yeah. That's where I think it's the best. It's like having a outside your home, having even if you don't have an alarm system saying you have an ADA, or what's the ADP, or for
Yeah. Yeah.
forget the security company, but having a security sign saying that you have
Yeah.
an alarm,
Guarded by such and
a
such.
90% deterrent from people that are going around the
Correct.
neighborhood
Yeah.
looking for someone to rob.
Yeah.
Personally, I like having a dog, and that's all you need is just one loud dog.
And
That works better than a
and the
sign.
shotgun.
And the shotgun with the blind guy inside, ready to shoot through a one hallway.
All right. All right,
Sorry,
moving along. WooCommerce version 10. Enhancements to the block-based cart and checkout.
I got I got to edit that part out.
Now, we'll be fine. Why?
I
No.
mean, I'm not. Yeah, all right. I'm not. I just know if I was, I'd still have one. I wouldn't get rid of one gun. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
Um, I was talking about the block. Um, sorry, let me read it here. I kind of lost it. Uh, so we now have add to cart blocks. There's a product gallery block. What this just kind of revolves around blocks is what it comes down to, right? Um, there's CSS container queries for cart and checkout blocks. I mean,
I So I think that, I mean, this is primarily going to be for people that are building a lot on Gutenberg. They're going to have their auto. It's going to be a lot easier to build out
Yeah,
those
and
areas.
that's like where they've been trying to move WordPress to as a whole, and they've been at it for quite some time. Gutenberg was announced what, like 5, 6 years ago.
Yeah, no, and everyone still hates it, but
You
I
know,
mean, it's getting better. You know
I
where it's
wouldn't
good?
say, listen, I wouldn't say everybody hates it. It's just, it's it's not for the agency. It's more like what you said for the do-it-yourselfer. Perfect.
But here's where it does work. If you want to make a site that is very that works very well under pressure, meaning
Yeah,
a
yeah,
lot of
right. Keep it,
traffic,
yeah, yeah.
and
Keep it
that's where it
profile.
shines.
Yes, no doubt. But then the downside is you still tend to run into limitations with customizations.
Yeah, like you have to customize everything. Like there is like, and also you know, and that's that. So this is where I think there is a lot of opportunity in plugin development is in the Gutenberg area and blocks and all that.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
A
Yeah.
lot of opportunity there. I haven't dove into it yet. I
Me too.
should, which I just might, but that's where I think there's a lot of opportunity for developers out there that want to get more
But
into
you know,
developing.
this is a shift in not just in Woo, but really in the whole web industry or web software industry overall. Shopify does the same thing. Everything is now blocks and drag and drop. And again, it just makes it really easy for mom and pop shops or anybody really to just manage content unlike before.
Yeah.
Gosh, I mean, you remember, I don't know, I can't tell you versions, I can tell you maybe years, but 10, 12 years ago, you couldn't add, well, till this day, you still can't add HTML and CSS to posts because it strips it. Or it was mostly
Yeah.
CSS, right? Was it CSS? Yeah. Anyway,
You can add in
here's
the
what I'm getting at. Here's what I'm getting at. We used to have to code everything to templates and then hard code the template and then assign the template to that particular page.
yeah,
Because
which is
anytime we
still
had it,
I mean I mean so now the what I mean what do you call it? Advanced custom fields has made that super simple. Like you can still build your custom post types and your custom templates out, and also use Gutenberg blocks. But it's a lot easier.
yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, but listen, that is, I mean, we've used the heck out of that. That's probably one of the best plugins in the history of WordPress, not just for Woo, but also for WordPress.
yeah,
That's custom.
I
I mean, we use the heck out of it, but it does increase the development costs dramatically.
Yeah, and that's where I remember that was like caught in the crossfires with Matt and WP Engine because I believe WP Engine bought
They did.
um,
They bought
yeah,
advanced custom fields. Yeah.
yeah, which you see a lot of hosting companies buying up good plugins.
Yeah, I say it's about added value, I guess. Yeah. Or,
Yeah,
revenue generator too.
well they I think they so they're so and they still haven't done it right. They're still trying to get into the management space as if they're good develop managers of websites and they're not. They have like their management plans. That's I think why they want to put those
I'm sorry.
tools in there because you're included in your hosting. I've been doing that for years, including tools in my hosting management, and that's why they're doing it. They want to buy every tool out there that they can just provide as an added value, I think, to their the
Yeah.
hosting plan.
What is it? They also throw in a bunch of themes. What do they use? The Genesis framework, I think they throw in there.
Yeah,
I forgot.
yeah. Which I was also, I think, for sale. I think I met with them. I met with the guy that was selling that to buy it a long time ago, maybe two years ago, and he was I think SiteGround was also talking to him, and he didn't. It was actually I should have bought it. It was what he was asking for was reasonable. You know what I mean? He was asking for a very reasonable price for those themes. You know, it wasn't like it was a ton of money, and yeah, and so, but the only problem was is the way I looked at buying a whole theme framework is, man, you really got to keep up with the code. Imagine the ADA compliant, like all the stuff coming out. It's not
A
like
lot of
working on a
layers.
plugin.
There's a lot of layers for it,
A
right?
lot of
Cross
layers, and I just
compatibility
wasn't
with
ready.
other plugins, core
But
compatibility with WordPress, right?
yeah, you know what really, I'll tell you one thing that pisses me off, is the whole language translation area. Like WPML is a great tool. Like that still to me is the one of the best language switcher tools.
I've been around for
Weglot
ages.
started using them, and all my sites are translated to like several languages because we work all over the place. And the cost has gotten to be outrageous. Like to translate, like if you have, let's say, I don't know, 200 pages in your blog, that's easily 1 million words. That's like I think we pay something around $7,000 or $8,000 a year for Weglot. Yeah. So I'm working on like translating myself some of the, or we had three different websites we used,
Sure.
translating some of myself. Anyway, going off topic from ADA compliance or whatever, but it's just one of those
No,
things
we
that,
moved on from ADA. We're talking about the blocks.
blocks, whatever. But anyway, I find that that language space with the whole translation thing is just way over cost. It just
Yeah.
costs too much. I don't know why. Maybe
I,
it's the
I haven't done
traffic.
anything there. I haven't done a multilingual site in a while, thank God. So I don't.
Well, the tools are great though. It like translates everything. You don't have to do
Yeah,
nothing. So that's why it's
yeah. I
so
know
awesome. Oh,
it's
freaking
it's painful to do multilingual, man.
yeah.
It's not an easy. If you're gonna do it right, I mean, if you're just gonna slap Google Translate on there, yeah, so you can do that all day long.
No, but it does do it right. So like when I translated Bright plugins into like 5 languages or 6 languages,
Yeah, yeah,
my sales went up in every one of
yeah.
those
I'm
countries.
sure. Yeah, I don't know, but I'm saying doing it right, meaning like having the URL structure, for example, making sure
Yeah.
that any assets that are graphics are also translated,
For
right?
SEO, international SEO, it's a must, but it's just so fucking expensive.
All right, moving on here with WooCommerce 10. This is a real cool one. But well, just to kind of wrap up on the blocks, they're just kind of moving in that block direction is something they've been at for quite some time, right? And again, that is just where everybody's just heading that way, is what it comes down to. Um, again, Shopify, same exact thing. Everything is now a block per se.
They probably had to work a lot on this too. It's probably this update, even though it doesn't seem like big, people I don't understand what probably went into
Oh
all of
gosh,
these
I can't
developers
imagine.
having to.
I can't imagine. And they're
It
completely
probably
this.
took
You know,
months and months and months.
Automatic is completely decentralized.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think did I tell you I visited their office in Manhattan?
Was it cool? Yeah.
It's actually, apparently they bought Tumblr.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how
Yeah.
many years ago they bought it. And I forgot who did they buy it from?
Man, there's so many that like we grew up literally with the internet, like in all the time that you mentioned names and I'm like,
Yeah, I guess Tumblr was acquired by Yahoo in 2013 for 1.1 billion. Think about it. This is like we're talking like MySpace here. We're talking like early social media days, right?
oh, but no, it also went from 1 billion payday to a payday to a 3 million fire sale.
Yeah, so Automatic bought it from Verizon. I guess. Did Verizon ever buy Yahoo? Did that deal go through finally?
I don't know.
Um, I thought at some point Verizon was going to buy Yahoo. I don't know if it went through or not because there was some security issues, and then I don't know if it blew up at the end. I don't know. But bottom line is they ended up with Tumblr, and Automatic bought it for 3 mil. So anyway, they actually have
That's so crazy. 1 billion to 3 million. That's like what,
yeah
1%?
they just lost a lot of market share. There was an uptick apparently during the Twitter acquisition when Elon Musk acquired Twitter. A lot of people were bouncing to different platforms. The Tumblr team reported an uptick in traffic and users there. This is
No,
the reason I know this is because I was in the Automatic office in downtown Manhattan. It's actually in NoHo, and it's the old Tumblr office.
yeah.
So they
Huh,
kept it because it's like an amazing lease deal, apparently. Like it,
there you go.
it's like a super teched out office. It's like the most amazing office I've ever seen. That and also Square. One time I went to the Square office in Atlanta. That was amazing too.
I've been to Amazon. That's about it.
You went to Amazon?
Yeah.
Which,
Only thing I remember was like, I think it was like one of the floors was the gaming floor, like the gaming department. I guess there's
oh
like they
yeah,
had
yeah.
uh, they had like a full-on alien, full replica of an alien. Like it was just a bunch of guys just with these huge, and this is back like early or mid 2000s. So it just they had all tech, everything, and I'm walking. I'm like, this is where I should be in life. And I then I went up to the boring meeting I had to go to.
Yeah,
They showed us that floor, and I'm like, this is where I'd rather be. But
yeah.
yeah, it was
I
yeah. They
visited
I think
Microsoft.
they literally had a whole floor dedicated to gaming, just all
Wow.
gaming.
Yeah, I visited Microsoft headquarters a few times. And I remember one time they demoed, and this is like early 2000 or mid 2000. They did a
Yeah.
demo of the house of the future where everything in the home was automated. And this is like pre-Alexa, pre-iPhones. Like you had to carry a pin around the house so the house knew it was you. That pin was assigned to your ID.
Oh,
Now that's all changed because of this, right?
yeah.
But before iPhones or Androids or Windows Phone, which by the way, Microsoft gave up way too early on their phone. They should have kept going with it.
Yeah. I don't think I think they own so much stuff, so much technology and patents on so much technology. I don't think they gave a shit.
Anyway,
You know what I mean?
all
I
right.
think Bill Gates gets a piece of every single credit card charge ever made. Like, like like whatever patent technology he has, like,
I've
when you
never heard
charge your
that.
card,
You're
I'm
kidding
pretty
me.
sure he
I
gets a
never heard
piece
that.
of every one of those.
Wow.
Oh,
Um,
by the way, also like with Bill Gates, he talk about everything he ever got was acquired. He didn't actually like they try to act like like he's this brilliant guy. It's like they actually acquired everything that was brilliant. Like if you look up the history, it's not like he created these things. You know what I mean? Like
Judd,
his business
that
acquired
goes
them.
that goes for a lot of that goes for the light bulb. Thomas
Yeah, but I look
Edison.
at Bill Gates, I look at like Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs, real deal. Bill Gates, not real
Listen,
deal.
that's a whole different episode.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes, no. I mean, Steve Jobs didn't even program. He wasn't
I
an
mean, from
engineer.
like an innovator.
But he wasn't even an engineer. He didn't program.
But I'm just saying, like he like an idea guy versus a business guy. That's what I'm
I
trying to say.
guess, hey, that's why Microsoft did so well in the enterprise, and Apple still struggles in the enterprise.
Yeah, no,
You know?
I think they went all business. And I think Apple tried to go more consumer. I think their thought was, I want to be in every household. Where Microsoft's like, I want enterprise. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I
Well,
think
I
that,
mean, Microsoft took over both.
well,
And
they did.
a lot of that
Sorry,
was because of the
they did in the initial beginning, and
yeah,
then
a
Apple
lot of
came
that
back.
was because of the OEMs too. Gateway, HP, Dell.
Yeah.
They packed Windows in as their OS.
Do you remember when you could you could build an Apple like in a PC box?
Was that like an Apple clone or something like that? I never got.
You could literally, yeah, you could buy all the
Wait,
parts in Apple
I got to tell
and
you, I didn't get into Apple until like I got like an iPhone 4 or 5 or 6. I didn't get into
I
Apple until
was
later.
off and on because in
Really?
college I was on Apple.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and it was bouncing. I was on both PC. I was only on a PC because that's all I could afford.
yeah,
And then I think 2010 is when I just decided I was sick of viruses. I was sick of just bullshit, like all the dumb updates. I think Windows Vista was garbage, 2K. Like there's just like when it went from like XP, when finally XP was done and I couldn't use XP anymore, I went to Apple.
Well, I do
And
remember
I
this.
never went back.
I think a lot of the Windows code is like native to Microsoft, right? I mean, I'm sure they use all sorts of drivers, all sorts of different components that are open source or they've acquired as well. They didn't write every piece of code, but
Yeah.
I think like most of the OS is made by Microsoft, whereas Mac, what is it? Isn't it based out of Red Hat? Isn't Mac OS based out of Red Hat?
I think so.
So think about
Um,
it. You have an OS that's already been pretty polished from a core standpoint, right? You just got to build a nice user interface and user experience. So that was like their advantage in terms of like stability.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and I think Apple took kind of like the Tesla approach, like you can't alter our shit.
Oh,
Where
no
PC
doubt.
was
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, yeah. You still
you get
can.
like my son, he just goes and buys new processors when he wants. He just goes and pimps out it's like a car to him. Like he makes it
Yeah,
better and
sure.
better.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Or your Mac, but I'll give it to Mac though. Like I'll buy a Mac and I'll keep that for 7 to 10 years and not need another one.
yeah. I say.
Yeah.
All right. So moving on to Woo. This is a really cool feature. I like this a lot. Shareable checkout URLs. So I guess these are no longer session dependent. So I think
Yeah, or
this is
plugin
great.
dependent, which I have a plugin that is actually that, and now it's worthless.
So
It
it happens.
happens.
It happens all the time,
That's
man.
2 times now.
It
I had
happens all
a
the
branch
time.
plugin and a shareable URL plugin on Bright
Yeah, it
plugins,
happens
and
all the
now they're
time.
completely
Yeah,
worthless.
look, it happens on Android, it happens on Windows, it happens on
It
Mac,
happens.
it happens on Tesla. There was a third-party company that would integrate your old Tesla with a MyQ system for the garage door opener. Now it's built in, so that company's out of business.
Yeah. By the way, my son got a Tesla.
Oh, he did. What did he get?
Loves it. I don't. It's like the sporty one.
Oh, he got a
I
Model
don't.
3.
Model 3. Yeah. I don't. Not
Nice.
like that. Yeah. He loves it. And it's pretty cool. Like I see why like Joe Rogan likes Tesla. Like even though it's electric, that one thing that's cool and the pickup because there's no gears, I
Right.
guess.
There's
So
no,
it's just fucking you're like this. Yeah.
yeah, there's
It's
no
like a
transmission.
golf cart on crack. It's
It's
just
ridiculous. Yeah,
crazy.
my model, I have the Model 3 Performance, and I have the older one. Mine's a couple years old. The newer one's quicker. The new one is the Model 3 Plaid.
Did you buy yours?
No, no, I always lease my cars.
Yeah, because that like my son made like he said as a point. He said that if you buy it, you don't really ever really own it because Tesla owns everything on it.
I mean,
You,
no, yeah, not really. Like, what do you mean they own everything?
so you can't just go and fix the car yourself.
I mean, no,
The
I mean,
the
yeah.
software is not yours on it. Like everything is owned by
Hold on one
Tesla.
second. Like, let's look at a modern car. Let's not look at a 1964 Mustang or a Shelby Cobra, or whatever, some muscle car or legacy car.
Okay, sure.
Let's
Let's
look
take
at
a new Jeep, like a
let's
new brand new Jeep
yeah,
Cherokee.
let's look at a car today. Okay. You want to run a diagnostic on the car, you need a special component just to run a diagnostic on it with the right plug. I mean
Well,
that goes for
but
everything.
let's say correct me if I'm wrong. If I wanted to rip out everything in the car, so I just had it, new radio, everything just different. I don't want the same stuff. I can still technically do that with the new car. I can't do that with a Tesla. You can't change anything on it.
I
And
mean,
it
okay, so give me an example. You want to change the radio?
no, I'm just saying it's
But
not like
hold on, you're gonna get one with a detachable face?
you're correct. Honestly, you probably don't want to change
Give me
shit on it.
no, give me
Awesome.
a real
I
life
just
scenario. Give me a real life
like
situation.
I just like the thing is like with the unless you have this the software. From my understanding, like you also like you want autopilot, all those things need a connection to Starlink to work.
No, Tesla does not support Starlink right now.
Well, so hold on, so
Don't do
but don't they
it.
connect to your car?
Yeah, through LTE, but so does Porsche, so does Honda, so does Toyota. You know,
But
you gotta look at it like this. The only difference between an ICE and an EV is just the power source. Believe me, bro, if Toyota was to shut your car down remotely, they can.
see, I don't like that, man.
I
I
know.
want my own shit. I don't want anybody tapping into my stuff.
Get a horse then. I don't know what to tell you.
Get a horse.
Get a
No,
horse.
I'll get me an old nice. So I'm going backwards. Like I never get the nice things. My daughter's probably gonna get the next car. I still have my wife's old car. If I ever do get a car, I want it to be a classic. Just a nice like anything before 1980
And listen, that's nice.
classic.
That's nice too, right? But now think about safety on a car like that. Those cars aren't safe.
I'm sure there's a few. I'll get a tank one. I'm not gonna get like
That
a
that doesn't
VW.
it doesn't a tank car does not make you safer. Cars in like the 60s and 70s had no crumble zones. what that means, the crumple zone is designed, and they learned this from Formula One, by the way, right? If you ever watch a Formula One car get into a car accident, you can see the car is literally designed to break apart. Why? Because it takes away all that energy away from you, right?
Oh,
On a car that's a tank, all that energy gets passed through you because that car doesn't break. It can't absorb any of that energy. So it gets
I
passed
don't
on
give a
to
shit.
you.
I'm good. I'm getting to be old, and I want my damn fucking classic car. That's it. That's where
I
I'm
mean,
at.
I do too, but like as a weekend thing, not a
I
daily.
don't want a software update. I don't have to plug it into a wall.
I mean, I gotta
I
tell
want
you, man,
gas.
it's
You know
by
what I'm gonna get?
far.
I'm gonna get something diesel, just so I can say it. What does it run on? Diesel, not gas, diesel. You know, like I think that's where I want to go. Sorry.
All right, so
But
sure,
I do like the Tesla. Like I'm just saying I wouldn't own a Tesla. I'd lease it though for sure. Like that I just don't know if I'd buy one.
it's I will say this, man, it's an amazing daily driver. Like I don't know how to use a gas pump anymore.
You know?
I've not you know
Apparently
what?
Tesla users use gas pumps sometimes,
Oh
the
yeah,
new
yeah,
one.
I've seen those things. Yeah, you know what's funny too? When you go to a Tesla dealership and you walk into the shop, it doesn't smell like gasoline or grease. It's so weird because you're so conditioned to go into a body shop or a car shop and
I
you
never
know
noticed
get,
that.
get in the garage smell. You go to the Tesla one and it's just like your
That's
senses
kind of
are
like
like,
a roofing guy when I walk in there, you know, like he makes a noise, you know, you walk in, you smell that gas, you know, like that.
no, no, I like that. Yeah, yeah, but it's like that's like missing on the Tesla side. It's just so much cleaner.
Oh, gotcha. So the one cool thing when he went to buy it, though, I will say the buying experience is pretty awesome. Like he had everything already, like he did online. We get there,
Right? None of this
and I'm like,
five
I have a
hour
lunch appointment. We need to go in 30 minutes. So, like, oh, we'll have you out in 30 minutes. So it was pretty
amazing,
quick.
right? None of
Yeah,
this
it was pretty
freaking
quick.
5 hour, oh, you got to go through finance now, and then you got to go here, and then you got,
Yeah.
oh God, that's
And
like
he
such an,
bought his car too. Yeah, he got a nice check cut too because he owned more than what the car was.
oh,
Like he
they
got
took
a
a
good deal
trade-in?
on the trade.
I didn't know they took
Yeah.
trade-ins. I had no idea.
Yeah, they gave a nice check to my son. Sorry, we just got way off topic.
It's all right. No, I'm glad you got it. That's awesome, dude. Um, so yeah, sure, we'll check out URLs. This is genius because again, it's no longer session dependent based on a cookie, right?
Yeah.
So this is great. Like I could just see like my mother wanting something, and I can just text her the link to the website and say, "Hey, just go here and check out," or with somebody, you know,
Yeah.
or from an affiliate marketing standpoint, where you can just say, "Hey, you can buy the product here," and it's think about how much friction you're reducing by just having the ability to auto insert the coupon and auto insert the add to cart action.
I'll go back to where I think that one thing they should integrate into the platform is the subscriptions. Like WooCommerce subscriptions is
Yeah,
still a plugin,
yeah,
and I just feel like that's one that should be in there because I think that's where you'd have probably a lot of people.
I
Obviously,
guess I don't know. I mean, look, we were talking about footprint earlier, right? That does increase your footprint.
yeah, it's one of those things. I just feel like it should be supported by the core team.
Yeah, I see. Well, isn't it now? Isn't subscriptions now made by Woo?
I don't know, to be honest. I thought
I'm
it
pretty
was
sure
still
it is.
made by a third party.
Subscriptions is now Woo. It used to be, what was the company that used to write all the plugins for Woo?
They
Skyverge.
did Jetpack, right?
I don't know if they did Jetpack, but I know Skyverge.
Yeah, they did Jetpack.
They did.
Pretty
Those
sure.
are the guys that did Jetpack. I didn't know that.
Um, Pretty sure. I met some during WooCommerce. I went to one of their it was interesting. Like they've done a lot for WooCommerce, Skyverge. Yeah, I'm
All
pretty
right.
sure they did
So
Jetpack.
moving along here, there's
They
also
also,
some.
yeah.
Sorry, you want to move along, or you want to?
Oh no, they didn't. They did not create Jetpack. It was developed and maintained by Automatic. I stand corrected. But they did do a lot of they did integrate with a lot of products with Jetpack. So they're a pretty good partner with that. But anyway, sorry. I stand corrected.
Anyway, some coupon improvements, not even worth talking about it really.
Yeah.
Made the coupon expiry date placeholder translatable. That's right up their alley there. CSV product importer now supports rich content. So what, Judd, what do you guys use to
WP
run
all export, man.
LEP, right? Yeah. No,
King.
like no questions asked, right? Because you just
Nah, yeah,
it's
like
let me
it
I'll tell
doesn't
you
matter
man.
what they do, it's like that is it
Oh,
right there.
I'm so glad we're on the same page there because I feel the same way. And you can schedule jobs if you know if you have to run a
Yeah,
dump
they have a
content
great way to they can you can even pay for them to like $9 a month and they'll do the automation for scheduling jobs. We do that for a client. So every month it runs at like something like 80 reports,
oh
but
okay.
their automation tool does it for you. So you just pay $9 a month. They have a WP all export. I would say they got a long way to go. It's kind of like Gutenberg trying to compete with Elementor. It ain't gonna happen. In most cases, not gonna happen. Like it's just they're too far along. Which, by the way, I think they should acquire some sort of builder.
It's dude, it's a very complex tool. Elementor is very complex.
That's what I mean. I just think like, they have Gutenberg, but they should have some sort of visual builder under their plate too. Like WordPress should, I think they're really heavy on like sticking with Gutenberg, but I think they should
Oh,
provide some sort of
Isn't,
visual,
isn't Gutenberg a visual builder? You don't have to write any code.
not like Elementor
Sorry,
or
what?
Beaver Builder. I don't think so. Like I think you can design, like you can build out a whole like complex design in Elementor through the
Right. But
builder.
you can't. What I'm saying is you can't be both, dude. Is what I'm saying.
I see what you're saying. So it's like I
You can't be
really,
simple. You know, you can write software for enterprise and small business, right? There's usually like two different versions for that, right?
yeah, I just yeah, well maybe they'll enhance Gutenberg to be more of a more down that road. I don't know.
I think. Look, man, it's ultimately at the end of the day, it's a
You
tool
know
that
what? Sorry, go ahead. I just cut you off, man. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I think ultimately, like automatic submission is just to empower people with like the power of publishing to the web, right?
Yeah,
And that just means for anybody. So that's why these tools are relatively basic.
yeah. So sorry, I'm listening. Sound like so they do have, I think, add-ons for Gutenberg, like Spectra 2.0. It says it's a website building. It works with Gutenberg, but allows you to do that. So that's interesting. Divi also, I think, starting trying to jump in that. So I think these builders are trying to adapt to using Gutenberg a bit more and having that visual element, drag and drop kind of thing. But also WordPress.com though, I think that's where they're moving. They want you to be able to drag and drop a lot more. So I think in
I
the future,
I don't do a lot of work on there.
it's the
Is that
same,
what
but
WordPress.com is pretty much?
so I think, yeah, I think that's where, that's if you're looking at Squarespace, that's their Squarespace.
I get what you're
So
saying, yeah.
I think if you're starting out, if you're a person starting out, like just have your company, not a web developer, but you want to build a website and you want to get into WordPress, I would not go to WP Engine or SiteGround or one of those and get one of WordPress installed. Have your own hosting space. I go right to
Right to
WordPress.com.
.com. That's like the most like turnkey user friendly, right?
Yeah, that's turnkey, user friendly. You got the support of automatic. That's where you want to go. If you need to use an agency and you want something bigger and designed and all the bells and whistles and professional and all that, then you would go with an agency and put it on your own hosting. Other than that, WordPress.com would do that.
I got
Yeah,
you. Oh, here's a big one for you as well on version 10. Payment setup integrated into launch your store onboarding. So I guess now when there's, I don't know, I never use it, but there's a wizard on there for Woo. I guess now it's
Yeah.
gonna prompt you to do Woo payments, right?
Yep. I didn't it do that already though? Thought
I
it did
let's see what it
that. I
says.
guess
Successful
you
launch.
have to do it from the back. Oh, the wizard has it. The back
I
end had
think
it, but
I
now
think I guess now maybe it's built into the actual wizard itself, right? As a step.
okay.
It could be. I don't know. I haven't with the successful launch of the Woo Payments native onboarding experience in Woo 9.9, we're expanding its reach and integrating it into the launcher store flow to help our users get their store fully set up and ready to start selling with Woo.
I think this will help the standard user that, and that's good because you want to start having these things to compete against, let's say Shopify, right? They have to make it a lot easier for just normal people to do things versus having to have a developer to compete with
Yeah,
Shopify,
yeah. And that's like, it's funny. In a way, Woo is becoming a little bit more SaaS based.
which is great. Honestly, like Shopify is a proven point that you could still be a Shopify developer and make a great living and work within that platform. WordPress can do the same thing and not be afraid, oh, because we're open source, we're gonna, have this one option for the regular consumer and have this other option for more larger businesses, professionals. So I think that's being able to do both is much better
All
than
right.
Shopify, basically.
Is there anything else we want to touch on regarding version 10?
Um, well, what about the performance side?
Yeah, I think that there's been some like back end performance enhancements, right?
Yeah.
Which man, I have to tell you, man, these sites on Pressable, even the back end on Pressable sites coming over from WP Engine, coming over from SiteGround, they just like dramatically speed up without touching anything.
Yeah, I have about 6 sites on Pressable now. I haven't had one issue with them. It's pretty darn
Unbelievable.
good.
I mean, it's just like I'm so blown away. I was always
The
so
only difference,
cautious.
like it's just not dedicated, but it is like you have like it does scale. So I'm assuming they have some sort of auto scaling going on,
Well,
and it
it's
just
it's essentially cloud-based, right? So if you break down hosting, you still have shared hosting out there where it's single server, pack as many sites as you can, right? Then you
yeah,
still have your VPS or virtual private server. It means you take a physical box and you virtualize it into containers and you get access to that container, right? So you got more customization there. Then you can go to a dedicated server. That starts to get expensive, right? Or you can go the cloud hosting route, right? So you're essentially tapping into clusters of computers. And as think of it as like utility, like electricity, right? As demand goes up, they increase the current into the grid. So it's kind of the same thing with cloud hosting. As all these sites require more and more resources, they can just literally add those resources to the pool, whether it's web
it's a
servers,
lot
database
less.
servers.
It's a lot less expensive. It's less expensive too to have the same amount of power and speed.
No, not only that, but especially like, if you run a Halloween store, for example, and if every year, you're gonna get a surge of traffic for about a month. Like that's
Yeah,
gonna blow up, right? You got to be ready for that because you got to monetize on that, right?
yeah,
And I remember when I worked in hosting, we had a couple Halloween stores, and you know, a lot of these customers didn't want to go into a dedicated server and then stay on it. They want to downgrade afterwards. And that's
yeah.
kind of the beauty of cloud or elastic hosting. You know, you,
Yeah, yeah,
you
I really
even
like.
even
So
on a even on a dedicated server, a lot of times you still have to either horizontally or vertically scale. You either have to
so
add.
I think Pressable was their solve for the e-commerce portion, like for WooCommerce, because
Well,
WordPress.com was more for you know scaling. I think large just brand sites where they need that WooCommerce component. Was a little bit tougher to solve, and Pressable solved that. So
yeah,
then
I don't think
acquiring
it's
that
just
was a
for
great
Woo.
move.
I think it's just for WordPress, period. Look, not everybody runs
Still
e-commerce.
great for WordPress. Don't get me wrong. Like,
Yeah,
but what I do is I typically will put brand sites on WordPress that are just standards. brand sites, and then for WooCommerce side, I'll put on Prestable.
Oh, I see. I
But
see.
they both do it. You're right, and they're both owned by it. It's just
Yeah. Yeah. One thing I learned these last few years, we had customers because we don't really offer hosting as a solution. We had customers on GoDaddy, on SiteGround, on Kinsta, on WP Engine, on HostGator. I mean, you name it. And as we grew larger and larger, it became such a nightmare for management, right? Because
yeah.
SiteGround may update their version of PHP before all the other hosters do.
Yeah, we typically will man that one thing we do is like you said, we manage them all on our system. So we have three systems: AWS, our own system on
Yeah.
AWS. We have Pressable, we have WordPress.com. That's it. And typically, we'll do is give them like 60 days on a management plan on this hosting to show them how it works. They can migrate after if they want to. Typically, no one does. They
Oh, I
love
like that. Yeah. So you
they're
you
just
you
taking
offer
care of it.
like a 3 month free upfront.
Yeah, when you like, I would say for any agency launching a website, the best and easiest way to solve one of the pain points of a customer is to offer 60 to 90 days
I
of
agree.
free maintenance.
It's just
They don't
so
have to worry
advantageous,
about
man.
nothing.
Yeah, it's so advantageous when they host with you from like, a service or maintenance standpoint.
Yeah, because you still got to do the updates and things like that, but you're going to offer that for 2 months and at a very nominal fee, and or sorry, you have a nominal fee for your management plan, but you give them that built in to the proposal, so that way they're just happy. They know because there's so many times that someone will say I launched with this developer and the site launch was bad, they weren't around afterwards,
It took
and
my
it
mail
just is
server. My
hell.
mail server went down.
Everything.
I
So
screwed
we
up the
just,
DNS and
like
my
they
mail
know for at
server
least
went down.
that no matter what, they're taken care of, and then they have a choice whether they want to go on their own with a site that's working perfectly, or if they want to continue to use
Sure.
you to make sure it works perfectly. And it's just, yeah, I found that as an easy win. It's like on the tail end of the deal where they're like, "Oh, you do? That's great," versus trying to, it's just an easy way to,
Yeah,
win
I
them
know.
over.
If you mention it up front, it's like information overload sometimes. Is that what
Yeah, you
you're
got it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And one easy way too, like, is just to show, like, if I'm trying to sell a website, the easiest way is to show them how I build them. Show them the back end, show them how it's edited, show them the SEO portion of things and how we do that. Like, when you show them very quickly and how well it's put together, that's where they're happy. If you try to explain it in a fucking 5-page document with all these requirements and da 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 da, they're like they don't know what half that shit means, and they're just like da da da. They just don't want to deal with it. They're like, I have no idea. I'm just gonna have to close my eyes and pick the right proposal. But showing them the build and what you provide and what you offer, run through the phases, show the process. It's an easy sell.
Yeah. No, it's funny. I do the same thing. A lot of times I'll demo Figma files just so they can kind of get their idea around
Show
the
them
creative
that too,
process,
yeah.
you
We
know?
show them, we show literally a build that we've done at the Figma files, and then show the live
And then show the
site.
live site. Yeah, exactly.
Done. It's
Or,
like
or
it's not even.
sometimes I'll even start with the mind map.
Yeah,
I'll show the mind map, I'll show the wireframe, Figma file, and then hey, here's your final product.
yeah. Yeah, that's even better. If you're building some like complex process with you're showing the wireframes first, then show it how it came to
Yeah.
fruition.
And that way they piece it together.
Yeah, awesome, good stuff.
Alrighty, sir. It's been a pleasure. I will see you for episode 12.
Yeah, enjoy your vacation.
Thank you, sir.
All right.